increasingly challenging time. A time of disruption in the life of our country. A disruption that has brought grief to some, financial difficulties to many, and enormous changes to the daily lives of us all. I want to thank everyone on the NHS frontline, as well as care workers and those carrying out essential roles, who selflessly continue their day-to-day duties outside the home in support of us all. I'm sure the nation will join me in assuring you that what you do is appreciated, and every hour of your hard work brings us closer to a return to more normal times. I also want to thank those of you who are staying at home, thereby helping to protect the vulnerable and sparing many families the pain already felt by those who have lost loved ones. Together we are tackling this disease, and I want to reassure you that if we remain united and resolute, then we will overcome it. I hope in the years to come, everyone will be able to take pride in how they responded to this challenge. And those who come after us will say the Britons of this generation were as strong as any, that the attributes of self-discipline, of quiet, good-humoured resolve, and of fellow feeling still characterize this country. The pride in who we are is not a part of our past. It defines our present and our future. The moments when the United Kingdom has come together to applaud its care and essential workers will be remembered as an expression of our national spirit, and its symbol will be the rainbows drawn by children. Across the Commonwealth and around the world, we have seen heartwarming stories of people coming together to help others, be it through delivering food parcels and medicines, checking on neighbours, or converting businesses to help the relief effort. And though self-isolating may at times be hard, many people of all faiths and of none are discovering that it presents an opportunity to slow down, pause and reflect in prayer or meditation. It reminds me of the very first broadcast I made in 1940, helped by my sister. We as children spoke from here at Windsor to children who had been evacuated from their homes and sent away for their own safety. Today, once again, many will feel a painful sense of separation from their loved ones. But now as then, we know deep down that it is the right thing to do. While we have faced challenges before, this one is different. This time we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavour, using the great advances of science and our instinctive compassion to heal. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again. But for now, I send my thanks and warmest good wishes to you all.
Alright guys, welcome back. Hey Lisa. Alright, let me get the chat popped out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this if I can, and I'm going to try and download it. It wasn't what I was expecting, honestly. I was expecting something a little more political, but basically the Queen has not addressed the nation but 4 times in her over 65 years of reign. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive, honestly. I'm going to try and download this so we can watch it again. She addressed the nation. Well, we may have to do that later. She addressed the nation after the first Gulf War. She addressed the nation after Princess Diana died. After 9/11 and something else. So typically she does do a Christmas broadcast, etc., etc. Let me see what this one's
Yes,
about.
I hope you do. That being forced to.
Basically, she's saying that she hopes that better days will return. And she had also mentioned that in the days and the months that are coming, that we should be working together and all that good stuff as well. So it's kind of concerning to me that even the Queen is saying that this is probably going to go on for months. And that's why I wanted to hear what she had to say, because again, after 65 years of reign, she's saying the same thing that everyone else is saying, that this is going to be on for months. I saw an article that says social distancing is going to go on probably until the year 2022. So what does that say? This is bigger. And I did a video yesterday about a Harvard doctor who got arrested for having dealings with China, and 2, I guess, interns or students or whatnot that got arrested for smuggling biomaterial out of the United States. So, and the reason I put the Queen of England on there, guys, is because she is a big influence of world events. When we start talking about Agenda 21, the Bilderberger Group, even maybe the Illuminati, I don't know. She's had a lot of influence on how world events have progressed, and it wouldn't honestly put it past me if she had something to do with, or not directly or indirectly had something to do with the death of Princess Di. Because she's very old-fashioned. Princess Diana was very, what do you want to say, modern. I guess that's a good way to put it. So when she's causing an uproar, I guess you have to, put her down. I don't know. I don't have any proof of that. Sorry, but maybe this is downloadable after. It might be downloadable now. I want to show it again because, well, nope, not yet. I want to show it again because a lot of people were late in the speech. It wasn't very long. Let's see. So what's everyone up to? Who wasn't old-fashioned? Princess Diana? No, you're right. She was not. Case. Well, that's not really going to work. Yeah, no, she was very progressive, I guess is the word I was actually looking for. So there we have our current cases so far. This is worldwide. Funny how this this number here, well, you know what I mean. This one and this 259,799 are pretty much the same. So we've had basically 1 million people infected with 68,000 dead. Now, how's that going? I hear it's pretty dead now for... Jeez, look at this. This is going to go on and on and on and on. I'm sorry, but okay, so here's the United States. The first line. Can't highlight, huh? Close that out. Yeah, so the first line, United States, total cases 330,263. Did anybody ever think it was going to get that big? I'm just saying. Total deaths, 9,444. We're almost at 10,000 deaths. So right now we have Italy. Italy at 15,000 deaths. Spain, 12,000. China only had 3,329. Come on now. Let's see who else is on the list of high. Looks like that's about it. Let me see. I guess we can do it this way, right? Okay, there we go. So deaths, we are the third in line for the number of deaths, followed by France, UK, Iran, China, etc. Total cases. Well, no, it's not going to let me do that, huh? Total cases. Looks like the United States is number one right now with the total cases. This is definitely interesting. So, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Does anybody agree with me that this is probably a way to get a new one world order established? Maybe. Yeah, we're even high on the active cases. Not even close to Spain or Italy. But in proportion, they have a higher mortality rate. Well, what did Spain and Italy do to anybody? Spain has the most, well, China has the most recovered, followed by Spain. Our recovered number is not very high, given the number of cases that are out there. But we also have 1.7, rounding up, or down rather, 1.7 million people tested. Where if you look at the other numbers, it doesn't show any in the numbers for China as people being tested. Well, let's look at that, because you're probably right. Let's see. New York is reporting at least 92,381 total positive cases, 20,817 people hospitalized, and 2,935 related deaths. Let's see here. Total confirmed cases in Washington State, 7,591, with 310 dead, and total testing of 87,918 people. Let's see about Florida. I love this. Find out if your business is essential. Everything is open. Everything. I'm not kidding you when I say that. Everything. Total confirmed cases in Florida residents, 11,764. Cases in non-Florida residents, 387. So a total of 12,151. $8,000 under investigation. Let's see. Pasco, where I'm at. 98 cases. It was 50-something the other day. I gotta wait for this thing to load. But now Getta, she lives in Charlotte County. And there's 46 cases there. This thing is huge. This thing is huge. Hang on, I gotta get this blanket out of the chair. Let me see if I can make this bigger. So anyway, I wanted to put on there the speech about the Queen, and we're just waiting for it to process so we can download. And not a lot of people in here anyway. But when I find it, when I get it downloaded, I'll replay it. It wasn't really anything that impressive. It was just, honestly, it was just her saying that, you know, they're going to stick together and whatever. But the thing that caught my attention was that she was saying days and months. Now we know darn well that things could have been handled a lot better. So that's why I'm sorry. I suspect that there's something bigger going on. I'm currently researching and investigating Bill Gates because I think he has something to do with it as well. Yep. Let's see what Brandon sent. Yeah, and then also the thing that brought up too is that suddenly the nation's depending upon the second-class citizens, if you will, like us, gig workers, retail, gas station, grocery store. Uh-huh. Isn't that funny? The very people that they called lowlifes are now the same people that they rely on for their groceries, their gas. Oh yeah, it is just too funny. Too funny. Let's see, last hour. I'm trying to find her speech. Oh, maybe this might be it. No, that's not it. This is an hour and 18 minutes? I don't think so. Hang on, let me see what this is, guys. Well, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. Is this it here? Oh, here she is. I guess for now we'll just play it from here. Right?
A time of disruption in the life of our country.
Let me start it back. I didn't have the sound up.
I'm speaking to you at what I know is an increasingly challenging time. A time of disruption in the life of our country. A disruption that has brought grief to some, financial difficulties to many, and enormous changes to the daily lives of us all. I want to thank everyone on the NHS frontline, as well as care workers and those carrying out essential roles, who selflessly continue their day-to-day duties outside the home in support of us all. I'm sure the nation will join me in assuring you that what you do is appreciated, and every hour of your hard work brings us closer to a return to more normal times. I also want to thank those of you who are staying at home, thereby helping to protect the vulnerable and sparing many families the pain already felt by those who have lost loved ones. Together we are tackling this disease, and I want to reassure you that if we remain united and resolute, then we will overcome it. I hope in the years to come, everyone will be able to take pride in how they responded to this challenge. And those who come after us will say the Britons of this generation were as strong as any, that the attributes of self-discipline, of quiet, good-humoured resolve, and of fellow feeling still characterize this country. The pride in who we are is not a part of our past. It defines our present and our future. The moments when the United Kingdom has come together to applaud its care and essential workers will be remembered as an expression of our national spirit, and its symbol will be the rainbows drawn by children. Across the Commonwealth and around the world, we have seen heartwarming stories of people coming together to help others, be it through delivering food parcels and medicines, checking on neighbours, or converting businesses to help the relief effort. And though self-isolating may at times be hard, many people of all faiths and of none are discovering that it presents an opportunity to slow down, pause and reflect, in prayer or meditation. It reminds me of the very first broadcast I made in 1940, helped by my sister. We, as children, spoke from here at Windsor to children who had been evacuated from their homes and sent away for their own safety. Today, once again, many will feel a painful sense of separation from their loved ones. But now, as then, we know deep down that it is the right thing to do. While we have faced challenges before, this one is different. This time we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavor, using the great advances of science and our instinctive compassion to heal. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again. But for now, I send my thanks and warmest good wishes to you all.
Okay, I want to cover something real quick. Right. I want to back up a little bit, and I want you to read between the lines.
Presents an opportunity for meditation. It reminds me of the safety.
Here we go. Hold on.
Today, once again,
Here we go. And listen. Listen to what she says about getting together again, joining all the nations for a common goal. Listen.
many will feel a painful sense of separation from their loved ones.
That's your FEMA camp right there, buddy.
But now, as then, we know deep down that it is the right thing to do. While we have faced challenges before, this one is different. This time we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavor.
All nations across the globe in a common endeavor.
Using the great advances of science and our instinctive compassion to heal. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure,
More still to endure.
better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.
Did you hear how she said that? We will meet again. Listen.
We will be with our families again. We will meet again.
One more time.
We will be with our families again. We will meet again. But for now, I send my thanks and warmest good wishes to you all.
Did anybody catch any of that? I don't know. I mean, I've been talking about it for a long time. I've been talking about this whole thing for a long time. And for her to get up here on TV and make a speech, which is rare, because this is only time number 4 in the 65 years she's been in office. Now, don't get me wrong, I got mad props for this woman because I couldn't hold that job down for 65 years. I couldn't imagine doing any job for 65 years. But I've told you before, and I'm going to probably do some more videos later on it, about her involvement with the world's money and world events and things like that. But the speech, if you're just listening to it standing out, outside looking in, it sounds fine. But if you're a little bit more thoughtful on it, you can maybe see another message. I don't know. Call me psycho. What are you going to do? But I don't know. What are your thoughts? Anybody have any thoughts? Well, there's like 4 people in here. A lot of things have changed for the good. Yeah? I could give you a lot of good examples, honestly. But sadly, we have, a stay-at-home order here, and nobody's doing it. I mean, some people are. I mean, don't get me wrong, the traffic is a lot lighter than it usually is. But it's still probably too many people out here for what it should be. And did I close that out really? Miami sucks. Well, they have the highest number of cases in Florida. Uh, just a second. No, they're not leading, and they're not doing it. They're not doing it for a reason, and that's the reason I want to know. Because if we were, we have 4,061 cases in Miami. Most of them men. 31 dead. No, they're not leading, and they're not leading because, well, the California governor seems more caring. Well, I don't know about that because he's taking over private hotels to shelter the homeless. I can only imagine the damage that's going to do. It also, if you look at some of the different state responses as to what each state is doing, it almost seems like, to me, I guess you could look at it two ways. One would be an individual decision, like the governor in Florida who waited so long to put everybody on a stay-at-home, well, he didn't let the cruise ships in. Rumor has it that Trump told him to let them in, which, of course, they said anyone who's not symptomatic got on a plane and went home. We have 300 and... What city are you in? If you want to share, you don't have to though. Let's see. Hialeah Gardens. Okay, and that, how far are you from Miami there? Well, you'd probably be in this lower region right here, right? Yeah, probably right here. Omer, what's up, man? Yeah, and currently that area is showing 4,061 cases with 31 dead. Okay, so yeah, you're in that lower area then. So yeah, you have a lot of cases. That probably is the most populated part of Florida. It's probably the one that has the most cases. But there you have it right there for the United States. We get some more people in here, um, I'll play with the Queen set again. Did anybody catch that tone on her? But maybe because she's 93 years old, that's just the way she talks. But it almost sounded like it was a different message again. I don't know. I mean, she's 93 years old, so it's possible. Yeah, 331,285 cases in the United States. We are the leader in the world of coronavirus cases. A lot of that has to do with the fact that nobody's staying home. Because Americans are not going to stay home. They just won't, as you can tell. Yes, the traffic is a lot lighter. But for me, either there's a lot of gig workers out there, or it's not light enough. Of course, that's all I am seeing now with restaurants and stuff. You know, all you big line of DoorDash and Grubhub and Uber Eats and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts? Let's get some chat going here, guys. Go ahead and share this stream to people too. I think it's a remarkable event that the Queen did speak, because she never does. And there's a reason for that. A couple of reasons for that. One, she's not like Trump, where, you know, he talks. Trump is a very loose-lipped man. He likes to talk. I'm nothing against Trump per se, one way or the other, but he does like to speak his mind. Most of the politicians don't know how to shut up. So it could be that the Queen of England is just very private. Or it could be she's holding a lot of secrets, and by making sure she keeps those secrets, she doesn't speak to anybody. Now, the Prime Minister does enough talking. Maybe that's good enough. But people, I don't know, they act like they just don't know what to do. You wait until the cell phones go down. You wait. You wait. There's talk on the street about it. What I hear, 2-week internet shutdown. I want to play this. Here we go. This guy is hilarious. This goes out to all Americans. Ready?
Thank you to Chris Franklin for these lyrics. The world has caught a virus, so I've written you a poem. We need your help to cure it, so stay the fuck at home. And if you have got 12 kids or you're living on your own, lock it down and isolate and stay the fuck at home. If you think you're not at risk here, you're living in a dome. It spreads faster than a hooker's leg, so stay the fuck at home. I need the gym, I need the beach, I hear you bitch and moan. You need to grow a brain cell and stay the fuck at home. But I feel fine, I don't feel sick. I'll go out on my own. How thick are you, you selfish prick? Please just stay the fuck at home. From LA through to Berlin, from Wuhan through to Rome, there's people dying every day, so stay the fuck at home. If you need to contact family, use Facebook, Skype, or phone. We've got the fucking internet, so stay the fuck at home. The only way to slow it down is isolate, not roam. Please help the world get back on track and stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home, stay the fuck at home. Don't you be a fucking dick, please stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home.
Right? Stay the fuck at home. All right, let's see what we got in the chat here. So, we're trying to build an audience here, and then I'm going to play the Queen. Again, some people heard it already, but I'm reading between the lines of what she's saying. Okay, so people crying no job, but they buying outside food like crazy. Right. Lucky Troll, you made a good point. Everyone's saying this is a humongous financial crisis, and oh my God, the world's going to crash. And we're going to be so broken. No one's going to have any money, but delivery and groceries, I mean, like this. I mean, people are paying like $20 for a freaking Big Mac meal. It's ridiculous. And they still pile on because they have a mask on. I'm 6 feet away, and they cut thinking in, not in line. Yeah. I got news for you. 6 feet away is not enough. When you cough, everything comes out at over 100 miles an hour. It's not enough. It's not. Yeah, people are stupid. That's why. Hello? Let's see here. We're number one. Number one in the world with cases. We are going to be the ones to destroy the world. Because people can't stay the fuck at home. And get 10 people in here, I will play the Queen again. And the reason like I said, and Roy just came in here, so I'm going to say it again. The reason I'm showing this speech is because she's only spoken. This is the fourth time in 65 years of office. So it's something that, if you want to stay woke, it's something you need to listen to. Now, I heard the speech the first time, which is at the beginning of the live, and it sounded fine. Like, hey, we're all going to get together, we're going to band together, we're going to unite as one. Then I played it again, and then again, and then again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on a second. There we go. Find where it starts. I'm going to download the video and play it once it finishes processing. I'll do another video of the speech and do my interpretation of what it really means. I also want to put up some stuff about Bill Gates because I think he's becoming a very important player in this whole thing. I read, who was it? Damn. Prince Charles or Prince Philip, one or the other, tested positive for CV, and now he's all better. Just like that, he's all better. Huh? That's pretty fan-fucking-tastic, don't you think? I'm gonna show these numbers again. Wait a minute. Prince Charles. Okay, yeah, I thought it was Charles. He's next in line for the throne, which is probably why he got better so fast. I believe there is a vaccine for this already. I think what they're trying to do, just like they did with the HIV epidemic, is see how fast and how many people can die, and then they're going to swoop in like miracle workers, although not as slowly as they did with HIV, and start presenting a fix. Because more or less there is a fix with HIV now. It's not a cure per se, but it pretty much is. And he had test positive almost 2 weeks ago. Right. And he's all better. This is a disease that takes 6 to 8 weeks to get over. You don't believe me? Ask Bam Bam. I haven't followed No Limitation. I mean, I haven't not followed, but I haven't watched his videos in a while. But I think I heard rumor that he got tested and he was positive. I think that's what I had read. I could be wrong. But, I mean, what do you think? This is a channel where all ideas are accepted. We may not agree with those ideas, but they are accepted. So don't be afraid. Okay, guys, don't be afraid to tell us what you think. Okay? Where is my other? No, I do not snooze, bitch. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. But he said he was okay? Alright. Hang on, guys. I'm going to be right back. Omer, my buddy, Omer! So stay the fuck at home. So stay the fuck at home. No Limitation rideshare. Well, that's true, Roy, but I would think you would need more than a week or 2 weeks. This is a virus that takes a lot out of people. Let me see if I can find his channel for All right, Omer, there's No Limitation rideshare. Been 28 days total for what? What did I miss? Hey, Donnie, what's up? Oh, for Prince Charles? Okay, well, 28 days I can believe. There was something else I wanted to find. Okay, let me see. Yeah, 28 days I can believe. So, let's listen to her again. We got some people in here that have not heard it. This is extremely important because, well, like I said, she has a lot of control and influence for the world and how things work. So, let's have a listen, shall we?
I'm speaking to you at what I know is an increasingly challenging time. A time of disruption in the life of our country. A disruption that has brought grief to some, financial difficulties to many, and enormous changes to the daily lives of us all. I want to thank everyone on the NHS frontline, as well as care workers and those carrying out essential roles, who selflessly continue their day-to-day duties outside the home in support of us all. I'm sure the nation will join me in assuring you that what you do is appreciated, and every hour of your hard work brings us closer to a return to more normal times. I also want to thank those of you who are staying at home, thereby helping to protect the vulnerable and sparing many families the pain already felt by those who have lost loved ones. Together we are tackling this disease, and I want to reassure you that if we remain united and resolute, then we will overcome it. I hope in the years to come, everyone will be able to take pride in how they responded to this challenge. And those who come after us will say the Britons of this generation were as strong as any, that the attributes of self-discipline, of quiet, good-humoured resolve, and of fellow feeling still characterize this country. The pride in who we are is not a part of our past. It defines our present and our future. The moments when the United Kingdom has come together to applaud its care and essential workers will be remembered as an expression of our national spirit, and its symbol will be the rainbows drawn by children. Across the Commonwealth and around the world, we have seen heartwarming stories of people coming together to help others, be it through delivering food parcels and medicines, checking on neighbours, or converting businesses to help the relief effort. And though self-isolating may at times be hard, many people of all faiths and of none are discovering that it presents an opportunity to slow down, pause and reflect in prayer or meditation. It reminds me of the very first broadcast I made in 1940, helped by my sister. We as children spoke from here at Windsor to children who had been evacuated from their homes and sent away for their own safety. Today, once again, many will feel a painful sense of separation from their loved ones. But now as then, we know deep down that it is the right thing to do. While we have faced challenges before, this one is different.
Here we go.
This time we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavour, using the great advances of science and our instinctive compassion to heal. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again. Days will return.
Listen, we will meet again. Look at her face.
We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again. But for now, I send my thanks and warmest good wishes to you all.
I know, I'm a broken record, but I don't know. What do you think? What do you say we ask Getta what she thinks? Are y'all up for that? What's her face and saying we will meet again? The tone, the way she was like, we will meet again. I'm like, what are you saying? We'll meet again. I might be overlooking it, but I mean, she was like serious. She was like, we will meet again. Okay then. Like I said, it's significant because She never makes speeches to the public. Ever. That's Alexa. Bing, bing. Probably listening to what I'm saying. That's fine. I don't care. I don't know, guys. It could be purely innocent, but it could also mean, like, I'm trying to give you a warning. I don't know. Well, that could be very, very true. And like I said, it could be purely innocent. But, I mean, meet again. I mean, people are out and about as it is. They're coming and going as it is. At least here in the United States. The numbers prove that. So, by saying that we're going to meet again, I mean, they kind of already are. I mean, I don't know how many the United Kingdom has. Let me look. Probably not anywhere near what we have, but there's the worldwide statistics. United Kingdom has 50,000 cases. Well, 47.8. You can't properly meet someone 6 feet away. Yeah, that's true. They have 4,900 deaths. Only 135 have recovered out of 47,806. Seriously critical, 1,559. Total cases per 1 million population of 704. They've only tested 195,000 people. This is for the United Kingdom. But we look at these numbers here, 331,519 with 9,500 dead, with 1,000 new deaths. Total recovered only 17,000. Active cases, 304. You can't meet your booty call right now? I know that's right. Total cases per 1 million population is 1,002. So, I mean, the numbers are all over the place. Again, the UK has 47,806 total cases. They've gained 5,903. Only tested 195,000. With only 135 recovered. I don't know. Seems kind of weird to me. Yeah, the Queen knows what's up. That's right. She's very good at keeping secrets. It has been for a long time. Geta would tell you all the stuff that she was involved with World War II and everything else. And it's just, it's mind-boggling how one person, such as the Pope, for instance, well, here's the thing, Lucky Troll. I'm thinking that if people are actually following the quarantine, there's probably going to be more births and more STDs. I'm just saying, because people fuck when they're bored. Yeah, she knows what's up about as much as everyone else does. Well, see, here's the thing, though, Roy. When people are in government and positions of power, they know a little more than you think they do. I mean, if we have to go back to Kennedy, I mean, please tell me you don't believe Oswald killed Kennedy. He may have had something to do with it, but please tell me you don't believe he was the sole person who was responsible for that. So, which tells me there's secrets going around. We all know the government has secrets. You watching the movie Outbreak? Yeah, I mean, listen, Donnie brought up a good point. The movie Outbreak. I mean, that's kind of how I feel like this whole thing is going. Like the government knew and sends these people in to deal with a case completely unarmed. I think in that movie it was representing hantavirus. The markets are open again in China. They're selling their bats, their porcupines, their dogs, whatever they sell. I don't know. China didn't have that many deaths. They were, according to this, which I found outstanding, total deaths 3329. They had 81,669 total cases, with 76,964 recovered. It's a leader's job to show strength and knowledge, even if they know, Dick, you don't have to have a strong leader. Showing strength, then the people will lose their shit even worse than they already are. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. People hate being at home with the people they live with. Uh-huh. Well, like I said, I mean, Trump, for instance, he may not know as much as people think he does. I mean, the government's broken down into a lot of different people of power. Yeah, if China's telling the truth, then there's your conspiracy right. Because look, this is where it all started, and I want to bring that point up very, very good. This is as of today. 81,669 total cases. They've gained 30. This is where it started. Total deaths 3329. Well, we've had almost double or triple that in the United States, 9484. They've had 3 new deaths, and the majority of the people that have, out of the total cases, have recovered. They only have 1,376 active cases, 295 are seriously critical, with 57 cases per 1 million of population. Again, this is where it started. And then we can look at the United States numbers, Spain, Italy, Germany. Why, if this is where it started, why is everyone else having so much influx in cases and China didn't get above, what, 81,000? That doesn't make any daggone sense. But you got 100,000 in Germany, 128,000 in Italy, with 4,300 new cases, and they're supposedly on lockdown, have been. Total lockdown. But then if you look at the numbers of the United States, and most of the states here are on complete lockdown. I mean, not complete lockdown, but, you know, you can go out for essential needs, which basically means restaurants, retail, gas stations, grocery stores. Well, yeah, you have to get more precise information once it runs its course. I mean, but 1.2 million, we'll say 1.3 million people in the world have it, or have had it, total cases. Yet we're letting people come and go. What's up, rookie? They shot him? Oh, speaking of shooting, the Philippines. They, the leader of that country, I should say, has said the police can shoot people for violating the quarantine order. They have a total of 3,246 cases. This is how serious they are being about it. Total deaths, 152. Total recovered, 64. Active cases, 30. Seriously critical, 1. Cases per 1 million population. Again, here's the test, though, 19,585. And this is the same government that says, we're going to shoot you. I thought you said they reactivated your account. If you violate the quarantine order. So, and they only have 3,200 cases? Is it that serious? Or is there something bigger going on here? I don't know. What do you think is going to happen in the United States? There's an article that says social distancing could continue to 2022. Why'd they deactivate your account? Because you filed for sick pay, didn't you? I told y'all not to do that. I told y'all not to do that. I told you not to do that. For what? You didn't even get a dime out of them. People are going to call you crazy for what? Oh. Not being serious. I don't... Used a second account? Huh. Yeah. Well, I would say go to the hub, but they're closed. I don't know. I mean, yes, there's 1,000,003 people that have 1,000,003 cases total worldwide. That's a lot of people. A lot of people. Governments didn't do their part initially to stop the flow of people going around the world. They only waited till it got to be out of hand before they started doing anything. That tells me that either they don't give a shit or there's a bigger plan here. That's the only way I can put two and two together. But you all know I have read and completely understand the Agenda 21. And this makes perfect sense in the way it's heading. Total sense. That they have to get rid of people and they have to control the population and then they have to create a one world order. I mean, I don't know. Just saying. Again, could be completely wrong. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. This is America after all. Doesn't mean we have to agree with each other, but my opinion is I think there's a bigger story here. I think there's a way bigger story here. You know, and some snowflake reported my last video about it because they just didn't want to hear it. Well, that's fine. I'll tell you right now, I don't give a damn. They can shut this channel down. Don't matter to me. I'll find something else to do. Well, there you go. Chris put up the numbers. Is that the total percentage of people who have it versus the total percent of the population? Is he probably right? There's 7.6 billion people. Yeah. At the end of it all, nature don't care if this is America, right? Well, I'm not Nostradamus. What was that? I need something larger here. Dun, 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 dun. Call me crazy, I don't care. You'll see. You will see. This is not going to end anytime soon. Matter of fact, we're only beginning. I hate when you change the picture, you have to change the size. It's okay to believe, you know, that your government's going to help you and you're going to get through this, and you know the reason for the stimulus checks and everything else is the same reason they did back at 9/11 with the economic stimulus checks. They're buying you off. They're buying you off to make you think that you are going to be okay. In around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and the bronchial tubes and resisting all known treatments. Almost more baffling than whatever. As quickly as it arrived, it vanishes and strikes again 10 years later, just in time for 2020 or 2030. And this was written in 1981. Right? We're not closing liquor stores. They're considered essential. But give it time, Chris, and that I believe that our COVID-19 numbers, if you will get very close to that. A lot of people that don't believe that the government would have any interest in harming its people. But there's been a lot of proof over the years who people start looking into things like 9/11, Kennedy, things like that, and they wonder why or how they could pull some shit off like this and get away with it. I don't believe for a second that this came from bat ball soup. I just don't. I believe that I'm sorry. I believe that that somebody is going to take the patsy for this. Let me see. Let's see. What do we got here? All right, I want to show that first. I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Just to let you know how important media is and how things get speculated and how things get spread around real fucking fast. So this is from justice.gov. Department of Justice, Public Affairs for immediate release. And this was Tuesday, January 28th, 2020. Of course, I just reported on it the other day. So, my bad. Okay. Not going to read the whole thing, but basically it says Harvard University professor and 2 Chinese nationals charged in 3 separate China-related cases. Charged in connection with aiding the People's Republic of China. This was in January. Dr. Charles Lieber, 60, chair of Department of Chemistry and Chemical Biology at Harvard University, was arrested this morning and charged by criminal complaint with 1 count of making a materially false, fictitious, and fraudulent statement. Lieber will appear this afternoon, blah, blah, blah. A 29-year-old Chinese national was charged in an indictment today with 1 count each of visa fraud, making false statements, and acting as an agent of a foreign government in conspiracy. This person is still in China. Here we go. Another Chinese national was arrested on December 10th, 2019 at Boston Logan's International Airport and charged by criminal complaint with attempting to smuggle 21 vials of biological research to China. On January 21st, 2020, Zhang was indicted on 1 count of smuggling goods from the United States and 1 count of making false, fictitious, or fraudulent statements. He has been detained. Can you look and you're almost there, right? All right, so Dr. Lieber, who served as principal investigator of the Lieber Research Group at Harvard University, which specialized in area of nanoscience, has received more than $15 million in grant funding from National Institute of Health, the Department of Defense. Are bells going off? $15 million in grant funding from the National Institutes of Health and Department of Defense. Can we say patsy? These grants require the disclosure of significant foreign financial conflicts of interest, including financial support from foreign governments or foreign entities, aka China. Unbeknownst to Harvard University in 2011, Lieber became a strategic scientist at Wuhan University of Technology in China and was a contractual participant in China's Thousand Talents Plan from in or about, that made no sense, 2012 to 2017. China's Thousand Talents Plan is one of the most prominent Chinese talent recruit plans that are designed to attract, recruit, and cultivate high level of scientific talent in furtherance of China's scientific development, economic prosperity, and national security. Thoughts? This is straight from the United States government. Justice.gov. They are putting his ass on the patsy window. $15 million in money, research money, to develop. Now, they didn't say anything about CV. Right? So let's keep looking. Let's see. Under the terms of Lieber's 3-year Thousand Talents contract, Woot, we'll just say, paid Lieber $50,000 per month, living expenses of up to 1 million Chinese yen. That's approximately $158,000. And awarded him more than $1.5 million to establish a research lab at Woot. In return, Lieber was obligated to work for Woot not less than 9 months a year by declaring international cooperation projects, cultivating young teachers, and PhD students. This sounds all very nice and everything else. But if we go back to the $15 million the United States government gave, it said these grants require the disclosure of significant foreign financial conflicts of interest, including financial support from foreign governments or foreign entities. So he did not, you must break me, he did not disclose this, and that's why they arrested him. But if we go back to, let's see. This one falsely identified herself as a student and lied about her ongoing military service at the National University of Defense Technology, a top military academy directed by the CCP, which is the Chinese Army. Let's see what else. Continued to work as a PLA lieutenant, which is the Chinese Army, completing numerous assignments from PLA officers, such as conducting research, assessing U.S. military websites, and sending U.S. documents information to China. Well, I'm going to get to that. Let's see what this person... All right, so Zhang entered the U.S. on a J-1 visa, conducted cancer cell research at Beth Israel from September of 18 to December of 19. It is alleged that on December 9th of 2019, Zhang stole 21 vials of biological research and attempted to smuggle them out of the United States on board a flight destined for China. Let's see. Did it say what was... He later told officers he intended to smuggle these vials out of the United States. To do his own research in China under his own name. But it doesn't say what the vials had. Let's see. All right. Anyway. I get it, Roy. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I know what you're saying. Everything's koshy, hunky-dory. So this was factchecks.org. So we just reviewed all that. Is it true that federal agents arrested Harvard professor Charles Lieber for creating the coronavirus? No. Lieber, a nanoscientist, was charged for lying about his participation in Chinese recruitment program and his affiliation with a Chinese university. He is not accused of being a spy or no connection to the new virus. Right. Well, that's nothing in this document from the United States government said that. The only thing that we have question of is what was contained in these 21 vials of biological research. That doesn't, there's just, we want to know what was in there. And why aren't they telling us what was in there? It doesn't say anything in here about what was in there. If it was cancer cells or anything like that, why wouldn't they put that up there? I'm just saying. So there is media going around, though, guys. There is media going around talking about this professor selling the coronavirus to China. So what I'm saying is, I guess you can't really believe everything you see. You have to fact check. Virus means nothing. Means he lied like a politician he worked for. Right. Yeah, he did lie. He also lied to get $15 million from the United States government. But Department of Defense, they're not just going to hand you a check. They're going to look into your story. So they couldn't find this? They couldn't find any kind of connection between him and China? His contract information, anything like that? Do you believe that for a second? I don't. I'm just saying. I don't know. All I'm saying is this. Be watchful. Keep your eyes open. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet or on the news. They tell you what they want you to hear. I can bring it up right now. Bring it up right now that shows doctor sells whatever. Coronavirus. Let's see. I guess those have been removed. Now everything says he was charged with illegal ties to China. Okay. Neighbors having a birthday party? Right. They don't care. People are not going to stay home. So let's check these cases in a couple of days. See how many more we're getting. And what's it going to take? I got something else to show you before I go.
New tonight at 6. Metro Corrections officer in Louisville is self-isolating at home after reporting to work with an elevated temperature. The officer was in direct contact with a COVID-19 patient while on the job last week. Court documents obtained by our Focus investigative team show something you've probably never seen before, an order of isolation. These have been issued to at least 2 people in Louisville who have tested positive for coronavirus but are refusing to stay in their homes. After the judge issues the order, the Sheriff's Department delivers it, and then Metro Corrections officers go inside the house and put an ankle monitor on that patient. This is the gear they've been given to wear while inside the home here and tonight. Metro Corrections FOP spokesperson says that's not good enough. He worries the officers are being too exposed.
You're asking these particular officers to definitely go into a confirmed situation of COVID-19. They should be swathed in head to toe, just like our sister agencies are, and they're not. And that's what we're at.
Now, Focus investigator Shay McAllister is going to be following this story for us. New details coming right here in a full report on the night team, all new at 11 o'clock.
So, we have some Kentucky residents refusing to self-isolate, so now they're being told they have to wear a ankle monitor. Well, they probably will. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I've shown a lot of stuff. I know it probably doesn't mean hill of beans to most people in here, but right, control the population. Let's see where I've heard this before. Yeah. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to try and start like a movement. But what I do want to say is don't be surprised. I mean, Kentucky making people wear ankle monitors who refuse to stay home. 331,000 cases of COVID-19 in the United States. We're forcing people to stay home. While, yes, people are not staying home, and that is why cases are going up. Clearly, we are number one by far of cases. Why aren't people staying home? Because they don't want to. They don't need to. They feel fine. So they're going to go out and do their normal thing. There was a Amazon Flex driver kicked out of Whole Foods this morning. I got that information from John because he refused to stay 6 feet away. And 5G. Well, I can tell you there's no relation between 5G and Corona. I think maybe 5G may help it to stay strong if you want to go that route, but I don't think there's any relation. No one should have more than 2 kids in your opinion. Well, they did that in China. Still not helping the population. But it could be something they're going to put out that's going to sterilize people and keep the population down. Wouldn't be far-fetched. Switzerland, I think it is you mad you didn't get invited? Let's see. Hold on here. One more thing. Oh, is it Sweden then? I think, okay, hang on.
So
I haven't seen this, so we'll see what this is about.
Let's switch gears a little bit. So you have something else that's really interesting in the newsletter about people in Sweden putting implants, microchips, right,
Yes.
into them. We've seen something like this here. There was a company that
In Wisconsin,
right,
yeah.
so they could get stuff out of the vending machine with these microchips. So what's happening in Sweden?
So basically in Sweden over the past couple of years, several thousand people have had these little rice grain-sized microchips put into their hands, which contain information that they can use to, say, check into the gym or get into the office or pay for train tickets, right? So on the one hand, everyone can appreciate that that's convenient, right? How many times have you been looking for your key fob at the gym or can't remember your password for something? But I think the bigger question here is, look, as the human body itself becomes a technological platform, right, there are big questions we need to consider about what kind of information is put out about us, from us, quite literally, and also further down the line, what kind of access do other people or platforms have to that information that is inside us, right? This is a biotech question, this kind of blurring of the lines between the human body and tech. I mean, it's one thing if you're holding your smartphone and it's sort of emitting data about you. It's another thing if your own hand is doing the same thing.
So like 3,000 people signed up for this. Are they not as concerned about hacking and privacy and all the things that we can't stop talking about over here?
Yeah, polls show that actually Sweden is one of the countries where concerns about misuse of data is actually lower than other countries in Europe. But you know, we'll see. This is 3,000 people. This is a small experiment. It's been developing over the past several years. But as the information that these microchips contains gets more elaborate and more detailed, people may start to change their mind and demand more protection of their privacy.
So
No, I haven't heard anything about Bam Bam. Google has already published evidence of people not following quarantine. I'm mad because somebody didn't invite me to get myself sick. We are under lockdown for a reason. You guys understand how, because Chris made a good point about Google, let's see. Google has already published evidence of people not following the quarantine by using cell phone track data. What does that tell you? Now, you guys understand when you're on Google Maps and you see the yellow or the red line indicating a traffic jam, they get that from this. If there are 100 of these phones staying idle, whether you're using maps or not, staying idle, not moving, Google takes that as a traffic jam. And they base the yellow or the red line based on how many phones they're picking up data all sitting in the same area. Which is why commonly you will go down a neighborhood street and you have a yellow or a red line and there's not a soul, on the road. Because phones are in homes or in cars and they're on and they're doing whatever they got to do and they're showing a traffic jam and there's no traffic jam. So the Google analytics, if you will, of people running around, they're saying that look at all these phones out on the streets, because they can do that if this thing is on. Exactly. Your phone is constantly transmitting data to a tower and bouncing off other towers, regardless if you're using your phone. That's how they track where you are, right? And well, this phone's not doing it, but sometimes you will see on the upper part there where it says LTE and the 67%, sometimes you'll see that data arrow moving, right, up and down. You got the down and the up going back and forth and whatnot. It's transmitting data. Sometimes, like if I'm using Amazon, it'll lock up. I got to start the whole phone over again because too much is going out or not enough is coming in, etc. So when we have phones being constantly transmitting data, it tells Google that people are out and about. And they can track you, just like when I work with Amazon, they can see where I'm at. And all that data it separate the non-essential people from. No, it doesn't separate it. No, it just shows that people are out and about. And it tells how many people are out and about. If there's 10 million people out and about in one city, they can probably determine that 10 million people don't really need to be out. You don't need to be out going to Chili's and picking up a to-go menu or a to-go order. You need to be out at Safeway or Winn-Dixie getting your groceries and cooking at home. You don't need to be at Bed Bath & Beyond, which was packed today, I might add. You don't need to be at Dollar General, which was packed today. This thing has been going on since December. Came out just about the time Trump was being impeached, too. Imagine that. So, we've had plenty of time to go get what we need to get. And when I say packed, I mean packed. Look at the lines at Costco, Trader Joe's. I mean, out the door. Right, but Bed Bath & Beyond, Office Depot. I'm not saying close them down. I'm just saying, I mean, who needs a pad and a paper and a printer right now? And you can get that stuff at Walmart. I mean, I don't know. The only thing I can think of right now that is not open in this area is gyms, movie theaters, bars, theaters like dinner theaters, you know, Broadway style theaters. What else? Arenas, sports arenas, things like that. I mean, the NFL, all the sports teams canceled their entire games. Walt Disney World closed. But liquor stores are considered essential. Why? There was a case actually in Las Vegas where the guy who buys silver, gold, and things, it's not a pawn shop, but it was like a jewelry shop, I guess. I don't know. People could bring in their silver, gold, and whatever. The sheriff ordered him to close, but the pawn shop down the street was open. But the pawn shop's deemed essential because they make loans to people. What's up, Dualbot? There are a lot of stores closed here. Schools are closed. Churches are closed, which is your constitutional right to go and practice your religion. But they're not deemed essential because, well, I don't know why, honestly. I would think in a time like this, people would need that spiritual guidance and you know, whatever. But the only reason I can possibly fathom that churches are closed is because of the large number of people that Ulta Beauty to be open. See, Lisa thinks that's essential. But anytime you put in a large number of people in the same room, they want to close that down. But they have no problem, up until just recently, letting anybody and everybody into Walmart. Well, Roy, I don't know if they're going to take that step just yet, because, I mean, imagine what would happen to the American population. I mean, for those of us that live in hurricane zones, we know exactly how people act when everything is closed. They go nuts. After Irma came through here and there was an hour or so of cell phone outage, people were literally like driving their cars down the road like this. I mean, they were they were lost. Nothing was open. They had to go home. Mass panic for 48 hours. And that's where I'm kind of thinking that there might be a bigger story, because if we're letting people out for essential items, in my opinion, that would be food, gas. What else? Maybe that's about it. To actually physically live and survive a quarantine, you only need food, water, fuel for a generator if a power outage goes out. That's it. Work, if you work in an essential business. A lot of hotels are closed. Chris is working at a hotel right now that has, what, 10 guests? I mean, no, they're not, Roy. They're not prepared at all. And I think that's why we have not been to the extreme of Spain and Italy, but their numbers correlate in ratio to ours. We just have more. He has 31 rooms in house out of 104. I drove through the beach the other day, and most of the hotels were either closed or ghost towns. Nobody was staying. So people have that idea that they're not going to travel and do their spring break thing because they've closed the beaches. Why come if I can't go on the beach? Yet we have the tattoo shop up the street that's open. How is that essential? Tattoos are not essential for survival right now. You're just going because you're bored, so you want to get a butterfly on your arm. You don't need a tattoo to survive. Yet there were, what, 10 cars? 15 cars? People, when there's a panic, spend money. And they don't care where it is. And the problem is, when and if this thing passes over anytime soon, everything's going to open back up, and the general public is going to punish them for being closed. Oh, you made me wait to come in and dine in at Applebee's. I went into Cracker Barrel the other day to pick up a food order. I did not see a soul in there. When have you ever seen a Cracker Barrel bare? I don't know. Because you can fucking drink anywhere, don't need the beach for that. People bought all this food and can't cook it, right? In all fairness, Lisa, though, we have to include everybody. And that includes the people that don't have cooking facilities because they live in motels. That includes people that don't know how to cook. And that includes people who are living on the street that go to McDonald's for their $1 hamburger every day. That also includes the people that get cabin fever and don't feel like cooking, so they just order Applebee's. I'm not complaining because it's money in my pocket. And 90% of them want me to leave it on the doorstep anyway, so I'm not even seeing these people. And they're tipping better than usual. But if it were me, and I'll tell you what we're doing, is we're not eating out. When's the last time we ate out, Chris? Like, 3 months ago? We're not picking up food at the drive-thru and things like that. We're forcing ourselves to cook at home because sometimes we don't feel like it, like everybody else. But I'm not going over there. I'm not having somebody handle my food who could potentially have COVID-19, and then I eat it. Common sense. Whole Foods, same thing. Ours are too. Yep, have been for a while. You know, I go in, I pick up the bags, and I leave. No, I'm not wearing a mask. Yes, I'm washing my hands. Yes, I'm sanitizing before, after, and during a delivery. I'm doing my part. But I'm not wearing a mask that isn't going to work for me. If I can't get my hands on N95, which is the only mask that's supposed to work, then why bother wearing one? The only thing you're going to do is breathe germs into that thing and keep inhaling them. If you are coughing up any type of projectiles, such as a heavy smoker where you sometimes cough up that clear mucus, which is a definite sign you probably shouldn't be smoking anymore, me, then the projectile will be caught by the mask, but then you have to change the mask. Otherwise, the only thing you're doing is reinfecting yourself with any type of thing you might have, including common cold, bronchitis, flu, anything like that. But as far as any type of homemade mask or surgical mask keeping COVID-19 out, it ain't going to work. The pores are too big, and the virus is too small, and it goes right on in anyway. The N95 has a filter on it that goes through some type of carbon filter. But again, it's only 95% protected or successful. There's Roy, I don't want to see some of these ugly ass people, so masks are good. Some of these people aren't wearing masks big enough. But honestly though, it's simple things you should be doing. And if you notice, I would be curious to see about nail biters, you know, the ones that chew their nails. You want to call? I can set that up. The people that chew their nails, wonder if they're being... hang on a minute. Lisa? I guess I can only share one at a time. Can I share these? Okay, hang on. Let me get a pee break in. Lisa sent some pictures to me about a store she's at. I do want to share those too. I'm going to put them in the slideshow. And then I'll set up, I think it's Hangouts, and we'll put the number up there, okay? Want to call in? We can do call-ins. That's fine. So what she basically sent me was a parking lot of a store that she's at right now, and it's pretty full. Which goes to tell you that people probably aren't really interested in delivery, right? Because leave her alone. Okay, well, thank you. I figured I was okay to share those, but I always like to ask, in case they were meant for, you know, private. So let me go over here and put these in here so y'all can see how packed this daggone store is. What the hell did I do with them? I gotta fix this again because I added a new picture, so we have to resize it, which is annoying as fuck. And then we'll set up the phone lines. People want to call in. Jesus. Sometimes it makes it really big, and sometimes it makes it really small. And you can't lock it. It ain't going to show you no go. Here we go. So take a look at those while I utilize the restroom. And let me set up my Google Voice. Well, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I don't really think there's anything we can do about this thing. Hang on a second. let's see. Get my headphones out. See, you gotta fix this all the time. All right, we should be, hang on a second, is on. We want to end that. So there you have it. Look at that parking lot. All right, phone lines are open. There's the number. Oh. You don't see it on the thing, on the banner. Shh, look at that parking lot. It is. It is. It should be good to go. Hello, you're on air.
You know who it is.
Yeah, I know who it is. What's that thumping? Try calling back.
I don't know what that noise is I hear.
Try calling back. That was weird. All right, is that better?
Yeah, a lot better. You can actually hear.
Cool. Make sure you're up. The volume's up a little bit. Let me know. Can people hear Roy?
Yeah, you ain't got. There ain't a lot of people in there, so we're cool.
I know. You gotta love YouTube. What's up?
Oh, not much, man. I just wanted to call in. Tired of typing shit.
I know that's right.
So yeah, it's nobody's gonna stay at home. Nobody wants to stay at home. So, you know, we can send it all the pictures you want. It ain't gonna do no good.
Right.
Call your governor and say, what the fuck? Like, what's the deal? And see if they'll close it. You know, but as long as you have all this shit deemed essential, you're gonna have shit ton of people out there.
Right.
Same with the whole Google Maps tracking shit. Google Maps can't determine who's a non-essential employee, who's an essential employee.
No, they can't.
Who's going out to buy groceries, who's going to buy medicine. They can't tell all that. So that means all that information means dick at the end of the day. Unless you can actually break it down and put numbers to it, it means dick. So, you know, and when people keep bringing up numbers as far as, well, this many percent of the population, or that, you know, that's just waste of time. Those numbers mean absolutely dick.
Right.
You cannot determine the rate of any disease until it has run its full course. So people that keep putting, it's 1.0000% of the population, it means dick, because it hasn't had an opportunity to go through the whole population yet to give you a complete number. So I don't know why people keep looking at these numbers and thinking that, it makes no sense. You know, you don't look at your paycheck at the end of the week or midweek, say Wednesday, say, okay, I'm at 0.000 point on my paycheck, so hopefully I can. You don't do that type of shit. So why do it with anything else? You don't. And at the end of the week, when you get your full paycheck, then you say you can break down the numbers. Okay, I did this much that day, this much this day. That's the percentage I did this day. Blah blah blah. You can't do it midweek, and that's what people keep doing with all these numbers when it comes to this disease. Well, it's only yeah. Well, it's only that amount of 300,000 people. Let it get up to 30, 40, 50 million people, and then you can start giving numbers that are more accurate than you can with 300,000 people.
Well, I think what people are trying to do also is kind of see where this thing is going, and if there's a general pattern, if you will, consistency. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the unfortunate part. You can't get a consistent pattern either because it hasn't hit a lot of areas around the world yet. You know, so you can't really even get a consistent pattern on that. Not to mention, you got countries that lie, China, probably other countries that lie that aren't given the proper numbers to begin with. So you're not even getting the accurate numbers to do it that way as well. So
true.
It's like just the numbers thing just needs to go away. The numbers thing just needs to go away. And it doesn't matter how many people have contracted it, because I keep seeing that shit all the time too. Well, why doesn't the news say that 86,000 people recovered from it? Because that means dick at the end of the day. It doesn't have anything to do with what's going to be the end result of the disease. It has nothing to do with the death rate of the disease. It doesn't have nothing to do with the seriousness of the disease. Because, 300,000 people, you have 100,000 people recovered. Okay, that means absolutely dick at the end of the day. Because you don't know what's going to be the end number. That number might change. There might be a specific type of population, let's say Mexico, that is more prone to it. So those numbers can change at all times. So I wish people would quit throwing out fucking numbers. And at the end of the day, the recoveries don't mean nothing. What determines the deadliness of a virus is the death rate. That is the number that determines the deadliness of a virus, not how many people recovered. So that means absolutely dick.
Right.
So when you get the number of the people that have actually died, when the disease has finished its course through the population, that'll tell you how deadly the disease is. So people keep comparing it to the flu. Well, 15,000 people in the United States have died from the flu. Okay, how many people caught the flu last year? 31 million people. 31 million people.
Lots.
Okay, so let's say 31 million people caught the flu. 15,000 people died. Okay, let's look at the virus. We have 250,000 cases, and over 7,000 to 8,000 people have already died. So now let's start getting. Do you want to play the numbers game? Okay, so now you got 300,000 with 8,000 deaths. Okay, so start to divide that 300,000 into that 31 million. Okay, that'll give you a solid number, let's say 12. Times that 12 by the 8,000 people that's already died. Now tell me that, what's 12 times 8,000? What's 12 times 8,000?
96,000.
Okay, so you got 15,000 people that have died from the flu. Now you have over 96,000 that died from this virus. So that's why these numbers people keep throwing out there mean absolutely dick. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So, people need to stay away from the numbers, and let's leave the numbers alone until it's run its course. The main focus people need to do is doing the proper glove protocol, which people have not fucking done. The staying at home shit, if you don't need to be outside, stay the fucking home. That's the shit that needs to be done. That's why, let's say China is telling the truth. You know why China is the way it is, if they're telling the truth? It's because they locked motherfuckers in their house. You got caught coming out of the house. You went to jail. They fucking threw your ass in jail, or they beat your ass and put you back in your fucking house. They won't do that here because they don't want to hurt people's fucking feelings. But that's the reason, if you're going to control this shit, that's what you have to do. You have to lock that shit down. Same with the Philippines. Come out of your house. Be stupid, you get shot. That's the way it is. That's how you have to do it.
Well,
You can't-
there's a little thing called the Constitution that gets in the way of that.
Well, exactly. And that's like I said, that's why they're doing all this half-ass shit. It's not going to fix the problem. You can't do anything half-ass. Go wipe your ass half-ass and see and look at your underwear at the end of the day. It gives you the same fucking result. But your underwear is going to be full of shit because you wiped your ass half-ass. So that's how it boils down. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty good analogy. But no, I'm just saying. That's how it is, man. And you know what? It's people, you know, like you said, like Lisa said, yeah, people are only going to be affected until it hits them personally.
Right.
But even in that case, you have some people that, you know, they'd be happy if their husband fucking died. They're getting paid. They'd be happy if their wife fucking died from it.
Well,
So you
that's
got that-
a sad truth. That's for sure.
You got that percentage of people out there. So that might not even curb a lot of shit either, because, you know, I don't know. You know, but if people that keep complaining about it over and over and over again, the same shit, why are you wasting your time complaining about it? It's not going to change.
No.
So just accept it as part of fucking what's going on, and move along with your day. If it's not personally affecting your day, who gives a shit? You know, at the end of the day. You know?
Well, and there's people that say we should all try to get together and try to, you know, like force people to really stay home. But like you said, you're really not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, like, yeah. Let a group of people come and try to force me to do something. See how many end up in a body bag. That's what would happen. That's what would happen. People ain't gonna fucking stand up for that shit. You gotta lock it down military style like China, if they're telling the truth, to get it done. That's the only way it's gonna happen.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. But like you said, people are not going to go for that. And so there has to be more drastic measures to take place to make that happen. And
Yeah.
I don't know that they are ready to do that just yet.
No, and you know what? The chances are they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. The best bet, as I see of them doing here, is just letting it run through the population. Just do it slow enough that you don't overwhelm your healthcare system, and just let us run its course through the population. That's the only way I see it happen.
Well, they're saying the healthcare system is already overwhelmed. They're not getting supplies
Well-
they need and everything else. So imagine if there's
and
more
who do you-
people.
And at the end of the day, who do we blame for that? Do we blame the government, or do we blame the hospitals and shit like that? A lot of people are putting the blame on the government, and it's not the government. You know who you want to complain to? Complain to the hospitals themselves. It's like I saw a news story here about nurses wanting to go on strike because they don't have all the proper equipment that they need. Well, let me tell you something. They knew prior to this pandemic thing that they didn't have the proper equipment they needed. So why are you waiting till you're really needed in the hospital now to do a strike about something you knew about years in advance? That's fucking retarded. So I don't see the point of don't blame the government for lack of medical stuff. Blame these hospitals. Blame that. That's who you need to blame, because they're at the end of the day responsible for the amount of equipment they have, the amount of equipment they buy. That's on the hospitals. That's not on our government. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's true. And Krista said the hospitals should always be prepared for an outbreak, and that is so
Exactly.
true. So
Exactly.
whoever's doing the ordering at the hospital is doing enough just to keep them, getting by.
Exactly.
But now the government's buying
Exactly.
up all this stuff, and I don't know what they're doing with it, but nobody's getting
And why? And why do they only order the bare ass minimum? Is because they want to make sure at the end of the year they have those fat pockets, the CEOs, and they give out bonuses to the people that don't spend as much. We know how everybody rubs each other's back with the money.
Mhm.
That's why. That shit is more important than getting the shit.
Right.
But don't sit there and all these people that want to keep blaming the government, blaming Donald Trump, don't blame the government, blame yourself
Right.
as the leader of a state and the hospitals, because they're the ones that weren't prepared. It's not the government. The government had no way of knowing how this was going to turn out. Nobody could tell this. A lot of people say, oh, they could have told. No, they couldn't. First of all, China was lying to everybody. Second of all, we'll just take the example of SARS, the first one. Okay, that was stopped hella quick. That mostly hit China only. It was stopped. So there's no reason to think that this one was going to be any different. Okay, so yeah, some people made some less than happy predictions at the beginning. I guess you could say they were trying to, downplay it. But if you don't downplay it, people lose their shit. If it gets worse, people lose their shit. So
Right.
it's a no-win situation. It's a no-win situation how you do it. And in my eyes, when it comes to Donald Trump, people can say, "Oh, he should have did more." What the fuck? He cannot predict the fucking future. He doesn't have a crystal ball. He's got to go by the same information that he's being given, and it being a new virus and all. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows how it's going to react. Nobody knows this. So that's what is fucking irritating is that people say, "Oh, he should have did this." How does he know? He doesn't know how people are going to react to the virus. He wasn't prepared. Nobody was prepared.
He's also preparing himself, though, for a panic situation. He doesn't want to create that. He doesn't want to get out there and tell everybody, "Hey, this shit is serious. You need to stay the fuck home. You're not going to leave your house," because as soon as you tell somebody you're not going to do something or you cannot do something, that is the first daggone thing they're going to do. And Chris puts in here that the governor of New York admitted to hoarding ventilators and demanding more from the government. Well, what are you hoarding the ventilators for? Why aren't you passing these supplies out to people who need them?
Yeah, same with the perfect example of the whole toilet paper. If he would have came out and like freaked out and just started acting like crazy, like, "Oh, you guys better prepare for Armageddon," this whole country would be fucked up right now. You think toilet paper is bad?
Right.
Motherfuckers gonna be in the street rioting right now.
You ought to see him at a hurricane. When let's go find a generator. Let's pay $3,000-$4,000 for a generator, and they'll do it.
Yeah. So him being the leader of the country, he's gotta be able to, somewhat look like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. At the same time, he may not, but he can only rely on the information he's given. And at least he's coming out here, unlike Obama, a piece of shit. At least he's coming out every day, putting his fucking face out there, trying to give as much of the best information he can.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so I don't want to hear people that want to keep dogging Trump all the time for this shit, because it's not his fault. He didn't fly to China and bring it back here to the United States. Fucking China's fault. So China's the one that did it, nobody else.
No, it's everyone's fault who let everybody travel all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. And
Instead
he was
of
one
saying,
of the first.
"Oh, I'm sorry, you're an American citizen. You're stuck in China. Well, too bad. You have to stay there. We don't want that shit over here."
Yeah, and he was the first one to shut down the fucking borders out of any one of these countries to say, "Hey, no more people coming from China." And that still ain't good enough. So you know what? It doesn't matter what he does. People are still going to whine and complain and this and that. If you really want to blame somebody, all these people say, "Oh, it's Trump's fault, Trump's fault." Get on the phone, start writing some letters to the fucking president of China. There you go. That's who you want to face your grievances to, the president of China. And if you think he really gives a fuck, you're full of yourself. But quit blaming Trump. Blame the president of China. It's his fucked up, nasty fucking markets and the way they handle food, and they're the ones that caused it. I know there's conspiracies out there that think otherwise, but yeah, I'm not going to go all up into that.
Well, I mean, they are theories. They have to be proven, and that
Well,
unfortunately
of course,
most of
there's
them are
all
not
kinds
provable because nobody's going to give up the secret.
Exactly, but even but like when you have all these conspiracy theories of this and that, you could make a prediction of just about anything. If you have the smallest bit of information, you can always make a prediction about something. Whether it comes, and if let's say it comes true, then you're fucking Nostradamus. If it doesn't come true, then guess what? It gets swept under the rug.
Right.
So you can make a prediction about anything as long as you have how do you think fucking fortune tellers and fucking all those people make a living off of that shit? They take the smallest amount of information and they can spin it into to say whatever you want to hear. That's all it boils down to. People have a huge fucking imagination, and some people will get it right. Kind of like the Simpsons. They're always comparing shit that Simpsons do, but there's a little bit of information, like when they have President Trump becoming
in
president.
all fairness, most, if not all, of what was on The Simpsons came true in some fashion or another.
Yeah, but think about it. Let's think about the Simpsons.
How the hell
themselves.
how did they make this cartoon years before stuff happened, and the shit's coming true?
Well, let's say we'll take the Donald Trump presidency for example. They had that one where he became president, right?
Right.
But prior to that episode, like years, 10 years, maybe 15 years, Donald Trump said he at one point in his life would like to run for president. He said that. So for them to make a cartoon in the future showing that Donald Trump is a president doesn't mean that they predicted shit right. It just means they made a cartoon showing him as president because back in the days he said he wanted to be president, and it just happens to come true.
Right, but in that same episode, Lisa, the character in The Simpsons, which of course we know she would not be president, but she is the successor of Trump, and the country's broke. And look at the stock market right now.
Well, there's nothing you can do about that right now because this is a situation that made its way. You know, there's nothing you can do about this. This was an unforeseen thing. All you can do is hope that there's one. You know, to be honest with you, there's one person who can bring this economy back, and he's the man in the White House right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Look what he already did the 3 years he's been in there. Look how he has built that place up. So if it goes back down the toilet like it was prior to him being president, he's the one that's going to bring it back.
Right.
And he's the only one that's ever had the nuts to stand up to these fucking people and Democrats to say, no, we're slashing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, to get this shit done. And everybody's prospered. But everybody hates him. They hate him personality-wise. It's not that he's done a bad job for the country. They just don't like him as a person.
Right.
Same with me. I might have a lot of knowledge, and I try to share, you know, quite a bit of good knowledge. But people don't like me, not because I'm dumb. It's because they don't like my personality, is what it boils down to.
Well, that's the same with me.
So-
Chris
so
said,
yeah.
did say, though, that China, he said he's not trying to start an argument, but you guys do understand that China allowed 5 million people to leave China while we all knew about the virus during the Chinese New Year. There you
Exactly.
go. 5 million people dispersed around the world.
Exactly. So blame China. Quit blaming Donald Trump. Quit blaming, you know, don't blame Donald Trump. It's not his fault. He didn't have nothing to do with this. He didn't ask for this virus to come here.
Right.
He did what he could at the time with the knowledge he had. Of course, everybody talks shit down because they all have the foresight now, but they weren't there at the beginning saying anything. But now that it's had its way to work a little bit, now everybody thinks, oh, I would have done this or I would have done that. Go fuck yourself. You're only saying that now because you have the foresight to see what has happened from the beginning till now. So people are fucking stupid. People are stupid, you know. So that's the whole thing.
And a lockdown of the United States any sooner would not have made no difference at all. Exactly.
No,
at
exactly.
This point.
No,
It would have had to happen back in December.
Yeah, and you're going to have to lock it down like China did, 100%. Nobody in the streets. Stay the fuck in your house. That's the only way it's going to work. You got to burn the cases out that are already out there. And the only way you're going to do that is put people on a straight lockdown for 30 to 60 days. That gives, you know, you figure you got a 10 to 14 day incubation, spread, without symptoms. Takes about another 2 to 4 weeks to get over whatever you already had. So if everybody's locked away, those cases that are already there will burn themselves out. That means the virus will burn itself out. There's no more people coming in contact with the people that are already sick, so there's nowhere for the virus to go. That's the problem. But we will never do that because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. So we are the land of the free, and we have a constitution like it says. So what is your best bet now, in my opinion? Let it run its way through the population. Just do it slow enough that you can manage it, and shit like of that nature. But that's the only way it's going to work. You're going to have to just let it run its course. If you're not willing to go to the maximum required steps, then you got to take the next best step, which is just let it work its way through, just like the regular.
I mean, that's a good point. If you're not willing to stay home, you're not willing to do what you need to do.
Exactly.
Then people are going to continue to get sick.
Yeah, you're never gonna get a positive result out of half-assed efforts. That's how it works. You're never gonna do it.
Mm-mm.
You can't get great results out of half-assed efforts. Never gonna happen. It's kind of like Uber here. Well, and it's funny that everything goes back to Uber and Lyft somehow. Just like Uber and Lyft, these drivers, they give it a half-assed effort, but they expect a million. You know what I'm saying? You got a few that go out there and they bust their ass and they make very super good money. But then you have the larger population of them that do a half-assed job, but they expect to get the million. That's like this whole virus thing right now. You're willing to do it half-assed, but you want the greatest results. Well, you can't have both. Plain and simple. You either have to go hardcore, and so you can get those great results at the end, or do it half-assed and get half-assed results.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you're still going to have the results will be different. Like I said, if you get it hardcore and it burned itself out, and the people that already have it and they die, let's say 3 months down the road, it's completely burnt out and done. Versus now you're going to have to let it burn its way through the population. You may lose millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make that trade-off. Are a few million people's life worth it? Of course not. But you got to do what you got to do. You know.
Right. You're right. It's not worth all these lives. But at this point, it's so out of control.
Yeah. At this point,
we could
you have
shut
no
the country
choice.
down. We could. But at this point, I mean, if we're looking at stock market and things like that, and all this other stuff, people are just going to be, yeah, they're just going to be going nuts.
Well, and that boils down to the whole finance situation. You know, that boils down to us as individuals, the choices that we chose to make. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
You know, I never chose to save money. I made I made a good living doing Lyft. I could have put money away, but I didn't. I fucked it off like everybody else.
Yeah.
So
Me
now
too.
you look at my situation. Now it's totally different. Yeah, I live in my car, but I've been saving for as much money as I can. I have my little nest egg. You know, it may be small, but it's still a nest egg that I didn't have before. But see, that's just us as a society. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to save up all your money and then 65 try to have a great life, or are you willing to live your life in the moment and spend whatever you have, you know, and have a good time? You know, that's what it boils down to.
Right.
So, you know, and you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that enjoy spending their time having. We all know life is short, so you might as well have a good time while you're living it. So that's why a lot of people live in poverty too, is because it's not that they don't make enough money, it's they don't know how to save the money. You know, they rather have the new shoes, new purses, all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's always enough money out of your paycheck you can save, whether it be $5 or $10 or $20. You know, you don't have to go to Starbucks every day for that $8 fucking latte. That's money that can be put in the bank. You know, there's all kinds of shit. And then that's why I did my video that other night, where this is your time, if you're stuck at home, to look at yourself as a person and get your life straight. That's why I said that. Because this gives you the opportunity to look back and reflect on, why am I in the situation I'm in now, and ways to change it. So when the time comes that you get a chance to change it, you change it for the better, not go back to those fucked up habits. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but there's still a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck, literally like owing more than they get paid. So, you know,
Well, but then again,
you
that,
gotta
like I said,
you gotta
once
do
again-
something about that too. You know, it's
But that's what
never
I'm
too
saying,
late
a
to
lot
go
of
back
that
to
goes
school.
But like I said, a lot of that goes back to you as the person. You have the opportunities to better yourself, whether it be go get a better job, work 2 jobs. There's people out there that, you know, moms that have single kids that work 2, 3 jobs and have a great life.
Right.
Have money saved up. And then you have these pieces of shit out here that want to sit on unemployment, have fucking 8 kids, and have a shitty life, and all they want to do is complain. You know, so you know, it's the people, and society has gotten, like I said, society has gotten away from what the true value of having a family is, and being smart about your money. Let's face it. That's why you're going to have so many divorces here, because relationships and dating wasn't based on the love of the person. It was based on the materialistic shit that person provided. That's what it is. So now that they're stuck sitting at home with a person that can't provide them with all those fun things that they had before, they're going to end up divorcing them or getting rid of them. 'Cause that's not what they were in the relationship to begin with. So.
Yeah, that's going to be the case in a lot of places, you know. I mean, for me and Chris, that would not be the case because we didn't marry for money. We did not marry for money.
But marriage nowadays, and probably for the last 10 to 15 years, has been based on convenience, not based on the love of the person, but based on convenience. And now that the time has come that you can really, as a married couple or a couple in general, you don't know how to do that because that's not what you were about to begin with. So
Right.
so that's why you're going to have a huge divorce amount. And that's why the domestic violence is being picked up. And
Yep. Birth
stuff
rates
in
are going to
the
go up.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why you have that, because now you're stuck in a household with somebody 24/7. You never took the time to learn about him because all you cared about was his wallet or her wallet, or you only cared about her looks, and now you're stuck with them 24 hours, and now you realize, what the fuck did I just do?
Right.
You yeah, she might have the greatest ass and the wettest pussy in the world, but but she's dumber than a box of rocks. What good does that do you? You know?
Alex says, "What's up?"
What's up, Alex? How you doing, man? But that's the problem. Marriage has become an institution of convenience, not of what it used to be when our parents were married.
Right.
So, yeah. Until the U.S. and people start to change the way they live and their morals change and their views change, it's always going to be this way. It's the new future. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe this virus in some ways will be a good thing. In my eyes, I hope it's an eye opener for a lot of people. It teaches people how to save money. It teaches people to actually cherish the person they're with for more than just their fucking money or what they can buy for them and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But because you gotta kind of look at the silver lining out of anything. Yeah, there's a lot of bad, but there's always going to be a silver lining to it. And you just, if you're a positive person and try to be a positive person, which I try to do, you got to look at there's got to be some good that comes out of it. So.
It doesn't hurt to be positive. I mean, I've been saying that this virus is a bad thing, but some of the good things that have come out of it are like less traffic.
Oh yeah.
A little bit more pickup on the work and things like that. It's not been great, but I mean, it works, and you just.
But
gotta,
even if it's the smallest,
at this point, you just gotta have to deal with it.
Yeah, and even if it's the smallest thing that's positive, it's still positive. So you can look at the cup half full or half empty. It's your choice. And that's where I look at it. So hopefully, something positive comes out of it. Like in my situation, what can I think positive will come out of it? I don't know. I just do what I do as much as I can. Like I said, I got a little bit of a nest egg saved up. It's not huge, but, that's all I can do, and so I try to stay positive, even though it might not be the most, but I'm still positive about it. A lot of people look down on me because I live in my car. Look at the professor throwing shit up in my fucking face.
Right.
Like, because you're so shallow-minded to answer a question, you'd rather just attack somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality people have nowadays. It's all about me, not what you sit there and you talk about how much you want to help people, but yet at the same time you talk down to people and you try to degrade people. So he's nothing but a fucking hypocrite. Anyway, so so I'm just saying that's how people want to look at things. They don't want to look at positive, and they get better and cooler results by being a douchebag and being an a-hole. Mm-hmm. Look at the YouTube people. Look at the YouTube people that are dickheads and assholes. Look who gets the most views. They do, because people have become that way in society where they rather be the dickhead or they get better results for being an asshole. And so you got more and more people becoming an asshole. And so those people thrive. People thrive off that. So,
it's all we all know American people are selfish. I mean, there's no doubt about that. That it's all about me, and that is the truth. And that's why they're not going to stay the fuck at home.
And hopefully something else that comes positive out of this is people take the workers that you used to, a lot of people used to talk down to delivery drivers. A lot of people used to talk bad about restaurant workers.
Get a real job. I've heard that so many times.
Exactly.
But now you're calling me to bring you your daggone food.
Exactly. So hopefully another thing that comes out is they'll learn to respect those jobs a little bit more. You know, don't look down on the guy that's working at 7-Eleven for $8 an hour, because at least he's working while you're sitting on your ass doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he's still out there risking his life to make sure you can get your fucking Slurpee when you don't need your Slurpee. And so hopefully that wakes up a lot of people in that mindset as well, to start respecting certain jobs a little more that they used to not to.
Alex wants to know, have you seen an increase in tips?
Who?
You.
Who said that?
Alex.
Have I seen an increase in tips? Yes and no. The increase I've seen in tips has not been because of more people tipping necessarily. It's because, like Jimmy John's, I've seen more tips with Jimmy John's because I'm the only driver now. Because it's been so slow, they're not able to schedule the same amount of people.
Okay.
So that's how I'm getting more tips. Domino's is pretty much the same as far as when it comes to tips. I deliver in the ghetto ass area. So at those ghetto areas, they weren't tipping to begin with, so they're not going to tip now. So especially when they don't have jobs now, they're definitely not going to tip.
Gotcha.
But as far as the only place I've really seen an increase in tips has been Jimmy John's, and that's because I'm the only driver there now.
Right.
Versus where there was 4 drivers, now there's 1 driver. So that 1 driver is getting all the tips versus splitting it 4 ways. So, but I would say, for the most part, no. I would say that's the only increase I see. And even then, I wouldn't really call it an increase in tips because I lost 2 days of work because of it as well.
Mm.
So those tips that I make extra the days that I am there pretty much make up for the hours that I have lost for the days that I've lost. So I'm still pretty much breaking even as far as that. It's pretty much the same. So.
Okay. Well, good to know.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I've dramatically lost tips or anything. No, I would say before this happened, we're around the same range. Everything's the same, except I do get an extra $2 an hour. Domino's is paying us an extra $2 an hour to work during this bullshit. So they stepped up. They're giving us happy employee pay or some shit. I don't know what it's called. Driver appreciation pay. That's what they're called.
Well, take advantage of it while you can.
Well, it's $2 extra an hour. Is it really worth risking my life for an extra? That's one thing I can put on my tombstone.
Well, you got to work. You got bills to pay. I mean.
Well, think about it. Well, no, because I have a theory behind that too. Let's say I catch the monster and I die. At least you can put on my gravestone, I died for an extra $2 an hour. That's something you can put on my gravestone. Or he risked his life for an extra $2 an hour. I'm almost willing to let them lay me off because they're adding an extra $600 onto your unemployment. I'll tell you what my check was this week. My check from Jimmy John's was $120 for 2 weeks.
God.
My 2-week check from Domino's was $300. Now, if they go ahead and lay me off, okay, I'm going to get a minimum payment of probably with my hours, and I'm probably looking about $200 to $250 a week in unemployment. Now add $600 onto that. That's $850 a week I'd be making sitting on my ass doing nothing. And I would still have my job at the end of it because Domino's ain't going to fire me.
Right.
So I would still have my job, and I'm making $850 a week to sit on my ass and do nothing. So it would be more beneficial for me to get laid off because I would be more financially gifted than I am working. So it would make more sense, to if you lay me off, I'm going to be better off at the end of the day. First of all, I won't have to worry about dying of a sickness, and secondly, I'll be making a lot, fucking 3 times, 4 times more money than I would be working if I'm not working. So, yeah.
Mm-mm.
But you guys know me also. I like to work. I'm a hustler. I work.
Right.
So it would probably drive me batshit crazy. Where these people are, like losing their shit because they got to stay in. I'm perfectly fine staying in. I don't have a problem. I don't have to go out. I don't have to do shit. So it would drive me batshit crazy to have to sit there and not do something. So I'd rather be out here working right now versus sitting on my ass doing nothing. Because you guys know my theory on that. I don't like lazy people, and I'm not that type of person. It's not my personality. So yeah, where they're being fucking batshit crazy, for sitting at home, I'd be batshit crazy because I couldn't go to work. So, So it's crazy. It's crazy world. Any other questions from anybody else?
Any other questions for Roy?
Yeah.
We are at, United States-wise, 3,029,000 unemployment claims right now.
Yep.
Well, actually, that was as of March 21st.
And I also have an issue, too, with the fact that you're giving these people an extra $600 a week unemployment. If you're able to give them $600 an extra week in unemployment, why aren't you throwing a stimulus to the people that are still working? Why are you making it more? How should I say? Right now, the government is making it more lucrative for you to be a lazy shit and not work.
Right.
It should be the other way around. The people that are working, having to pay into the system, should be getting the extra benefit, not the people sitting on their ass doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically, if it wasn't for the virus and you got fired or laid off because you wouldn't be getting this extra $600, you'd still have to live off whatever you got unemployment-wise. So you're giving them this extra money. Like I just said, I would benefit more by getting laid off than working. So you're encouraging that behavior. Why would you encourage people to get laid off? That's fucking retarded. Encourage the people that are still working to work. Because that's what's going to stimulate the economy is the people that are still working. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't give the people on unemployment anything. Yeah, give them an extra $400, but don't leave the people out that are working. They should get the same extra $400 on their paycheck every week that the people are getting for not working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what it fucking irritates me too, because I'm out here risking my life, for $300 every 2 weeks, but yet you're sitting on your ass and you're making $1,000 a week.
Mm-hmm. That's
not fair. That to me is you're punished. It's almost like you want me to get laid off so I can make more money. It's dumb. It's like you're encouraging the laziness and so on and so forth. So if anything, that $600 should have been split, in my opinion. $300 should have went to unemployment people. $300 should have went to the people that are still working. Because the people that are still working, we are still getting less tips. We're getting less business. So we're not making the same money we used to. Just like the people on unemployment aren't making the same money they're used to.
Right.
So you're giving them extra money. Why not give it the extra money to the people that are working that have, like me, for example, I've lost hours. I've lost a lot of hours working. So why not give me my $300 to help make up for the hours I've lost? You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it.
I couldn't agree more.
But yeah, those are my thoughts on it, so.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, nobody's disagreeing, obviously.
Yeah, so.
Alex says the government is only for the lazy. Why don't we drug test welfare people? Well, they are in certain states, but I mean,
yeah. Well, the thing is,
I don't know. I mean,
I could care less. At the end of the day, when it comes to welfare, I could care less. If they want to smoke crack and smoke weed, that's fine. Let them smoke it. My thing with welfare is quit making it a lifelong thing. End it at one point. Kind of like you do unemployment. You end unemployment after so many weeks of free shit. The same shit should be done for welfare. But welfare has become a system of lifelong job. I would call welfare a lifelong job for some people.
Right.
Because they're on it forever. Now you got people living off welfare for 20 years. So you're not, if you, that's what you got to fix. I don't care. You can smoke weed all you want, crack all you want. But just know that after 40 weeks of welfare, there will be no more money coming to you. So you better, quit smoking crack or weed and get a fucking job.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. It should be no different than an unemployment situation, in my eyes. No.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, I get the drug testing because we don't want to give welfare money to people just so they can buy drugs. I mean, I don't agree with that either. I only agree with people getting the welfare money if they need it, like they're really struggling and they're trying. You know what I mean?
But the problem
you
with
have
the
to
drug-
try, and my thing is,
but the-
I'm not willing to help somebody if they're not willing to help themselves.
Exactly. And the problem with the whole problem with drug testing also is, first of all, you're talking about a government agency. We already know how the government works. They're slow. They really don't give a fuck. So they're going to put the same amount of attention into drug testing they would anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So why even bother? So there's no reason to even bother doing it from the start. Like I said, you're going to do this something half-assed, you're not going to get very good results.
Right.
So there's no point to do it. At the end of the day, there's no point in doing it. Remember, I've been to jail multiple times. I've been on probation, and trust me, I was on supervised probation for a year. I got drug tested once.
Right.
So that shows you the system that it doesn't really work. I could have been smoking the weed the whole 12 months I was on. The minute I took that piss test, I could have been smoking the weed the whole time, and nothing would ever happen.
Right.
So because it's a government thing, they don't want to. You got lazy parole officers or probation officers. They just don't want to deal with it.
Right.
So anytime you have a government that you expect them to do something, just don't expect that from them, and you'll be fine. Just expect them to do the right thing, which is cut shit off after a point in time and be done with it.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, I
crazy.
agree.
But
I
it's
think
hard
also,
to-
as far as like the welfare thing going, we probably should have some type of money allocated to like rehab and stuff for people who really want it.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem is you have this war on drugs. You're never going to get rid of drugs. And that's the problem because people are creatures of habit. And if you want somebody to successfully do rehab and it works, they have to leave that whole life behind. They have to find new friends. They have to find a new environment. And, people don't like being alone. People don't like new shit. There isn't a lot of people that are willing to step up and say, let me change my whole life because that's what I want. No, they're creatures of habit. They're going to go back to their loved ones, the people the areas that they're comfortable with. And so that's why rehabs and shit really never work. It was because unless that person's willing to witness protection program themselves and just move away and never, it's never going to work. And if you don't incentivize them to do that, you can't kick somebody out of rehab with no money, no nothing, and expect them to start a new life.
Right.
If you're willing to give people welfare money to sit on their ass and shoot out kids, give it to that drug addict that really wants to change his life. At the end of his rehab, move him somewhere where he's in a new environment, where he's not surrounded by the shit all the time, and let him start his life anew. Then there's less chance of him going back onto the drugs because he's in a new environment, he's meeting new people, and so on and so forth, versus having to go back to his old friends who's probably smoked dope, the old environment, shitty neighborhoods, shit of that nature.
Right.
But they don't think like that. So they just think that if they talk to you for 30 days about how bad it is, that's going to change your mind. Well, they don't know how bad it is when you have to go back to living in a fucked up trailer, or you're surrounded by drug dealers 24/7. All your friends are doing it. So you know what? It's crazy. The hell is my phone beeping for?
Why is your phone beeping?
I think somebody texted me. Yeah, I got a text. Probably Lisa. She likes to do that. Interrupt
Lisa?
us when we're talking.
Lisa.
Yeah, she likes to do that when we're talking. So you'll be doing a video, and here comes a text from Lisa.
Right.
She like has the best timing. She has the best timing when it comes to that shit too. I could pick any time of the day to do a video, and I'll get a text from Lisa during it. I swear to God, she has the best timing. It's almost like she has ESP to that shit. But as far as this virus goes, I'm at the stage right now. If I catch it, I catch it. Like I said, it's an invisible bullet. You play Russian roulette with an invisible bullet, so I'm at the point, if I catch it, I catch it. If I can make it through it, I make it through it. If I don't, like I said, hopefully somebody misses me. But what I see is just, it's just a lack. It goes back to show that humans are just pieces of shit. They just don't care. You're throwing your dirty gloves on the fucking ground. You're throwing your mask on the ground.
I've seen that too.
It's like, come on. You're just proving the point that you're pieces of shit. You went and bought all this motherfucking cleaning stuff for your house, but yet you throw your garbage on the fucking ground at somebody else's house.
Right.
That's fucking ridiculous. So, so it just proves.
It's not Lisa. She said it's not her.
No, unfortunately, humanity continues to prove to me that you are better off by yourself at some point, because why do you want to associate with people like this?
Right.
It's like, I'd rather be by myself and do my own thing than to deal with some of these pieces of trash. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, I'm going to be that guy that I see you throw your shit on the ground at Walmart, and I'm going to be the one that walks up and shoves it in your fucking mouth for being a fucking gross pig.
Uh-huh.
And then I will be the one sitting in jail. Not because I did anything technically wrong. They're the ones being gross and putting the public's health in danger, but I would, because I stood up and did something about it.
Right.
So me being the good guy standing up doing something about it, I would be the one to go to jail, not the piece of shit. So society is just, once again, society is just proving to us that nothing's going to, that they haven't the willingness to change their behavior. So, so the virus is just reminding us about how shitty we are as public. And at this point, it's almost like, please, let it run its course, give out the Darwin Awards that this virus needs to give out, and let's move the fuck on. The people that don't want to listen, if you catch it and die, I'm not feeling sorry for you. I'll feel sorry for the people that don't deserve to die. The people that are stuck because some asshole wanted to have a party and they end up giving it to their grandma or grandpa. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel sorry for. I don't feel sorry for. If you're out fucking around and you catch it and die, good riddance, in my eyes. That's the way I look at it, really. I do. Because you're just proving your life. You don't even care enough about your own life to just sit on the couch and relax.
Right.
So you gotta come out and be a fucking idiot when you know you could die. It's like people get a thrill out of knowing they could die. I don't get a thrill out of knowing I could die.
I don't either.
I don't. I ride my motorcycle 100 and some miles an hour. Yeah, I know I could die doing that, but I accepted that risk. I'm not accepting the risk to go out here and catch a disease because you want to go out and fuck a party. That is not a risk I want to take. But I take it because it's my job.
Right.
It's my job to deliver. So, but if I could sit on my ass all day in this car and get paid and not go anywhere, trust me, that's what I'm doing now, bro. I'm sitting in my car. This is my 2 days off. I went and ordered something from Best Buy today. I went and picked it up, and I've been sitting on my ass ever since, bro. So if I can do it, cooped up in a car all day, don't tell me you can't do it in a nice, comfortable house. There's no fucking excuse. There's no fucking excuse. So.
Well, that's the problem, though. People get cabin fever, and they want to come out, and they want to check out the world. The minute that Irma came through here,
but there's no cabin fever going to Walmart. Go to a fucking park.
Right.
Go walk around your neighborhood. Do something. You don't need to go to Walmart to walk around.
Right. Well,
with a bunch of
psychologists
other
are saying
people.
that people, that's how they deal with, what do you call it? That's how they deal with stress, is spending money. That's people's natural reactions to go out and find something to buy. And I think it's absolutely dumb.
Well, here, do me a favor. Let any of your viewers know that if you're feeling stressed and you want to spend money, I'll put my PayPal account in there. Please give it to me.
Right.
I'll be. Or give it to Uberman Tampa.
Don't
Trust me, we'll be
PayPal
more.
me. That
Yeah,
asshole. That asshole made a false claim about the camera. So yeah, no, I'm overdrawn on PayPal. So don't send it to me. You can Cash App it
yeah,
though.
please. Yeah, Cash App. There you go. So anybody on this live feed that's feeling stressed out, they haven't spent enough money, please put it in my PayPal account. I'll
Right.
make sure it gets spent.
That's right.
Fuck me.
I
Dude.
love it.
I don't know where psychology comes up with some of this dumb shit. I went to Best Buy and I bought me a phone charger so I quit stealing my car battery. So it was a kind of a necessity for me because I keep stealing my car battery.
Right.
So I, so it's crazy. But all right, well I'm gonna let you go. I took up too much of your time.
You haven't taken up too much time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no worries. All right, we'll give somebody else a chance to talk.
All right.
All right, cool, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, guys.
All right, cool. Bye. Yep.
All right, guys. Give me just a second to utilize the restroom, and I will be right back. All right. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm back, guys. So, does anybody else wish to call in? Because we can do that. Just a moment. But thank you, Roy, for your input. It made a lot of sense. You know, you do have to just kind of, you know, you gotta use a little common sense. And you know, when this whole thing was going with the virus to begin with, you know, maybe we should have stayed the fuck home to begin with. But people will not listen. You know, it's just the way it is. You know. So that is the way it is. Who else wants to call in? Alex? Alex? Lisa? Anybody?
called the
Hello.
wrong number, didn't I?
You're on the air.
Oh, thank God. I thought I called the wrong number.
No.
Oh, I got both of them in my phone, both of them under your name. So I just wanted to,
Oh.
whatever. So, I mean, I believe what Roy was saying was actually, like, I actually agree with him for a change. But New York has been on lockdown. We're like the third state to get locked down. And I know Chris is in your chat, and he is from New York. Ask him to type in the chat how long he's literally been sitting in his house. It's been over 3 weeks that he has been home. Him and his girlfriend have been in lockdown. We're on lockdown, and I see these people randomly shopping and acting like they're on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were playing basketball in the park the other day, all right? Now, Governor Cuomo said that he was supposed to take down all the park facilities like basketball courts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were all supposed to be locked up. Well, he wasn't, and then because people didn't abide by it, he started actually putting cages around them. So that way people could just utilize the park, but not the basketball nets and stuff like that.
Wow.
Serious, yes. And I saw people playing basketball the other day. I mean, I was on the phone with Roy. Ask him. I was beeping away, and they were laughing and smiling. These were grown ups. These were not young people. They were grown ups playing basketball.
That's crazy.
Like, and yeah, and I go home, right? My brother made some lunch, so he told me to come home and get some. So I do. And I see all these funny looking cars outside my house that are normally not out there. And I'm like, what are all these cars doing out here? He goes, oh, the neighbor across the street had a party. What do you mean they had a party? Now, because I said something, he won't tell me which one it is because I'm going to call cops.
Right.
So now he won't tell me exactly which house it was. I said, Michael, you know we're on lockdown. You know that people cannot be out partying.
Right.
And for somebody to hold a birthday party? You freaking kidding me with kids? These people don't like their children, apparently.
That's why we are the country with the most cases of COVID-19.
And child abuse, apparently. Because anybody who takes their child out, and I've seen a lot of it doing Instacart, people take their child out and they make like a play date going to Walmart and crap.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's like child abuse. What are you doing? You know you're not supposed to do it. Why are you doing it? It's it's bad. It's really bad. I mean, like literally, we're on lockdown. We were supposed to have the National Guards come, but they never came. I don't know what happened with it. But the National Guards were supposed to come here to enforce it, but they haven't come.
Is there a fine for being out of your home unnecessarily?
That's what I was thinking, because I live on a street, and down the street from my house, a cop lives there. So I asked my brother. I said, which house is it? I said, we have a cop that lives on the street. I said, and he knows the cars, obviously. We have a neighborhood watch that are supposed to be on our street. And he's like, why, you going to call the cops? You bet your ass I'm going to. And he shut up right after that. Wouldn't tell me a thing. Nope. And I don't know. Ask Chris in the chat. I really don't know. He's really keeping up on all this stuff. And I'm really not, because I'm really working. I'm working a lot, actually. It's because I've been really busy.
Yeah, he
was in the
still,
chat.
yeah, he's still here. I was able to tag him. So, Chris,
okay.
answer Lisa's question. What's going on? Now, how far apart are you
There's
two
a
of
fine.
you?
2 hours. That's why I go to Buffalo and work normally, because it's really busy and I make a lot of money, but not since all this crap started.
Roy says it's probably the Crooked Popo having the party.
No, actually, I know where the Crooked Popo lives. And he doesn't live up by where I live. I live up in a section that's, there's nobody goes up there unless you live up there.
Gotcha.
That's why I recognize cars that shouldn't be over there.
Right. So
But we're on lockdown.
Has Instacart slowed down for you?
No. So far this week, I'm already over $600.
God damn.
I only do Instacart 3 days a week. But I did Instacart like 2 extra days, but I only did it I did 2 batches the other day and made $68. And then I did another batch. And then the rest was all yesterday, Friday, Saturday. And then I worked today, and then I got to go to my W-2 job at 11. I work the overnight on Sundays. I work 11 to 7.
You go ahead, girl.
So I've been busting my ass. I'm really tired. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But these people, and then I see these people, because, like, if I didn't have to be busting my ass, I wouldn't be. Look at all the crap that I do. I wouldn't be doing all this if I didn't have to.
Right.
But no, and then all these people they're like they're on vacation. They're getting all this money from the government and everything. They're acting like they're on vacation.
Right. That money will dry up soon enough.
Well, I think that if they're not going to stay home and abide by the stay at home, they shouldn't be getting 1 cent. They should be tracked. Like, was it you said something about an ankle monitoring? Ankle. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I'm doing Instacart and I'm grabbing groceries. That's why I'm out of breath. But you said something about the ankle monitor, right?
Right.
Anybody who gets unemployment or gets any money from the government, I feel should have one.
Well,
that should be mandatory.
They want to buy us off. That's my opinion about it. Honestly, they want, just like at 9/11, they want to buy us off and distract us from what's really going on. That's my only opinion about it.
I had an argument with a lady who was in the store that I'm currently at, right? She takes care of a 90-year-old person. I said, you take care of a 90-year-old person and you're out? Oh, I'm sorry. I said, what are you doing out? Now, this person can get it, take it home to this person, and get them sick.
Yeah, instead of ordering groceries online.
Right, which is free. Instacart's offering free deliveries. You know how many new customers I got? I got like new customers every day.
They don't want to tip.
Everybody can just. I don't know if it's not specific. No, they don't want to be home. They think because everybody's always wanting a day off and everything, they're using it as this time off. And they're actually freaking acting like they're on vacation. I mean, I don't run over people, but, I have to slow down my car because people are playing basketball in the streets and the kids are riding the bike and the parents are just kind of walking behind them like nothing is going on in the world. Like, absolutely nothing is wrong.
Yeah, they're oblivious.
Seriously, until somebody in their family dies from it, they're going to be just like that.
Yep.
In Onondaga County, as of the other day, had their 4 staff. We have, the other day, I didn't listen to it yesterday, and I haven't listened today, because I've been running around. But we have 322 confirmed cases and 4 deaths as of the other day.
Wow.
2 days ago. And just in Onondaga County. Just in our county. Now, in Camillus, where I live, and outside Syracuse where I live, anyway, there was 10 cases. 2 days later, there was 21 cases. No, there's 20 cases. The next day, there was 21 cases.
Right.
I don't know. people don't care. They're running around with their masks on, their gloves on, and then they're just treating it like another day. And
Well, you're right. It's going to take a tragedy to deal with this, sadly, but hopefully it doesn't come to that.
no, but that's what it's going to take for people not. We had a grocery store, an employee at a grocery store got it, and a person at a Walgreens got it. Okay, why did they get it? Like, because these people are out shopping and, like, just being out.
Right.
So these people got the coronavirus because people, they're doing their job. Other people are just out and about.
Yep.
It's disgusting. The only people I should run into on the streets is delivery people, Instacart people, or people who are working on essential jobs. Shit. My kids, I call on a daily basis. One lives in Ohio, and I call him to see how he's doing. He's staying inside, except for when he goes to work because his job is essential. So he has to make stuff for the hospitals and the pharmacies or something, I guess.
Right.
And then the other one, he's having a ball because he's working from home. He works with computers, so he got the word computer, and he literally is in bed when he turns over to clock in. So
wow.
he hasn't been out of his house in 3 weeks. So, and I mean, I've talked to people. Finally, for a long time, people wouldn't even talk to you when you dropped off their groceries. But lately, I've been talking to people, and they've been sheltered in their house for a month or more, ever since Cuomo put us on lockdown.
That's crazy.
Ask Roy. The pictures that I have sent him. Walmart, stuff like that. People flooding the parking lot. Yeah, it's crazy. But I just wanted to chime in on that because, I have to vent.
Right.
I don't have anybody at home to vent. My brother just told me I don't want to hear it. Oh, God.
What are you doing? Wearing him out?
No, he just doesn't want to hear it. He says I bitch too much. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Roy.
Well, it looks like it's just you and me right now.
Oh, God, thank goodness. It's just really about this. It really is. This is dangerous. This is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't take it seriously.
Yeah, you're so right.
When I'm running, I'm going down the aisles, I'm like holding my breath and literally running down the aisles. Like,
Well, there was a guy that got kicked out of Whole Foods this morning, apparently, for not following the 6-foot rule.
hi. All right, Scott. I'm gonna have to let you go because I'm in line, so I don't want to be rude.
No problem, hon.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, babe.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so I guess I'm the only one left, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this back on Do Not Disturb, and that will be the last of the phone calls since everyone else is doing something else. So we will go ahead and terminate that. And the live stream for sure. So I do want to thank everybody for calling in and having their opinion and listening to this live stream. I appreciate it. And until next time, all I got is the truth.
Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair. Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.